The bright screens in Seoul's main square turned blue all at once. People stopped walking. Cars stopped moving. Everyone looked up. Jia was eating lunch when it happened. She was 18, with short black hair and bright eyes that noticed things others missed. Her physics textbook lay open beside her bowl of ramen. "We are the galactic hegemony," said a voice from every screen, speaker, and phone at once. The voice sounded strange, like many voices speaking together. "We come in peace." Jia dropped her chopsticks. All around her, people stood frozen in shock. That was how it began, the day that changed everything. 3 days later, Jia sat in her small apartment, watching the news. Giant ships hung in the sky over every major city on Earth. They were dark and smooth, shaped like giant eggs. The aliens had not landed yet. They only sent messages. Jia's phone buzzed. It was Professor Kim from the university. "Jia, I need you at the lab now," he said. His voice sounded tight with worry. "Why me?" she asked. "I'm just a student." "Because you're the best student I have. The government needs help understanding the alien language. Your pattern recognition skills are better than anyone's." 2 hours later, Jia sat in a room full of computers at the Global Space Agency's Korean branch. Scientists and military people rushed around her. On her screen were strange symbols the aliens had sent. "These repeating patterns here," Jia said, pointing. "They match our mathematical constants. Pi, the speed of light. They're using math to speak to us." An older man in a suit leaned over her shoulder. "You found this in an hour. Our team has been stuck for days." Jia worked day and night for weeks. She helped build a basic translation program. When the aliens finally agreed to meet Earth's leaders, Jia's work was the reason humans could understand them. The meeting happened in a huge glass building in Geneva. Jia watched from a small room with other researchers as the aliens walked in. They were tall and thin, with smooth blue-gray skin and 4 arms. Their eyes were large and dark. "We welcome Earth to the galactic community," the lead alien said. Its mouth didn't move when it spoke. The words just appeared in everyone's minds. "You have reached the technological threshold for first contact." World leaders sat across from the aliens at a long table. Jia could see they were nervous. "What do you want from us?" asked the United Nations Secretary. "To help you grow," the alien said. "Your species has potential. We offer protection and guidance. You will be a protectorate of the hegemony." "And if we refuse?" asked another leader. The alien's face didn't change. "That would be unwise. Unprotected species face many dangers in space. Pirates, resource hunters, extinction events." Jia felt cold despite the warm room. The alien's words were friendly, but she felt the threat behind them. The talks went on for days. Jia studied every word the aliens said. She noticed they never answered direct questions about their technology. They never explained who else was in this hegemony. On the final day, Earth's leaders signed an agreement. Earth would become a protectorate of the galactic hegemony. In return, the aliens promised to share some technology and protect Earth from outside threats. As everyone clapped, Jia sat quietly. In her notebook, she had written down all the questions the aliens had avoided answering. All the times their words didn't match their actions. "Something's not right," she whispered to herself. No one heard her over the celebration. That night, as she walked home under the giant shadow of an alien ship, Jia made a promise to herself. She would learn the truth about these aliens, about this hegemony. Because deep in her heart, she knew Earth had not gained protectors. They had gained masters, and no one else seemed to notice. 5 years passed. Earth had changed in ways no one could have imagined before. On a clear spring day, Jia stood on the balcony of the new galactic embassy in Seoul. Ships from 20 different worlds flew peacefully in the sky above. People walked the streets below, some human, some clearly not. "Ready for the ceremony?" Hannah asked, joining her at the railing. Hannah now wore the formal clothes of the chief diplomat of Earth. As ready as I'll ever be, Jia replied. She touched the medal on her chest, the symbol of the Science Academy she had created. The academy now had students from 30 worlds studying there. They walked inside to meet the others. Dani was checking security, her uniform showing her rank as commander of the Earth Defense Fleet. Yun sat quietly in a corner, working on her computer. Her AI systems now connected all Alliance worlds. Suk arrived last, smiling as always. As Earth's representative to the new Galactic Council, she traveled between worlds more than the others. Together again, Suk said, hugging each friend. Just like old times. But much better times now, Dani added. They walked together to the Great Hall. Hundreds of beings from dozens of worlds waited there. All stood as the 5 women entered. 5 years ago today, an announcer said, the Human Accord was signed. The old hegemony ended. A new age of cooperation began. Jia looked at her friends. They had done what seemed impossible. Changed the course of galactic history. After the Human Accord, 30 worlds had left the hegemony to join Earth's alliance. The remaining hegemony worlds had formed a new government, more fair than before. The two groups work together now, not as masters and servants, but as equals. Suk stepped forward to speak. We gather to celebrate 5 years of freedom, she said. 5 years of working together as equals. As she spoke, Jia remembered the hard parts of their journey. The months of negotiation after the council meeting. The threats from hegemony hardliners. The work of creating new systems to replace the old ones. It wasn't easy, Suk continued as if reading Jia's thoughts. Change never is, but we have built something better than what came before. After the ceremony, the 5 friends met in a small room away from the crowds. Remember when we first met? Hannah asked. Before leaving Earth. We were so young, Yun said softly. So afraid. But we did it anyway, Dami said. They touched their wrists where their communication bracelets had once been. Now they wore simple silver bands there, to remember. The best part, Jia said, is the academy. Seeing young humans and aliens learning together. No masters, no servants. A knock on the door interrupted them. A young aide entered. Sorry to disturb you, but the new students have arrived. They're waiting to meet you. The women walked to the academy entrance. 50 young beings stood there, from 15 different worlds. Among them were 5 young human women, looking nervous and excited. Welcome to the Galactic Leadership Academy, Jia said to them. Here, you will learn what we discovered. That the greatest power comes not from controlling others, but from working together. One of the young humans stepped forward. You changed everything, she said. You showed what's possible. That's the most important lesson. Suk replied. Anything is possible when you refuse to accept the limits others set for you. As the sun set over Seoul, ships from distant worlds glowed in the darkening sky. In one lifetime, humanity had gone from being alone in the universe to leading a galactic alliance. And it had all begun with 5 young women who dared to challenge an empire. The shadows of alien thrones had faded. The future belonged to all. Jia sat in her locked room on the ship, thinking hard. Outside her window, Earth looked beautiful and small. She had to do something, but what? She examined the door lock. It was simple by hegemony standards. She smiled as an idea came to her. Taking apart her bracelet, she used its parts to make a small device. When she pressed it against the lock, the door slid open. Meanwhile, back at the station, guards came for Hannah, Yun, and Dami. They were taken to separate rooms for questioning. We know humans have been interfering with hegemony systems, a tall mech official told Hannah. Tell us what you know, and your punishment will be less severe. Hannah kept her face calm. I don't know what you mean. Across the station, Suk heard about her friends being taken. She quickly called an emergency meeting of the Shadow Council. We need to act now, she told the 12 representatives. Are you ready to stand with us? They looked at each other nervously, but nodded. On the ship, Jia moved quietly through the corridors. She reached the scanning room and locked herself inside. Working quickly, she made the changes she needed to the equipment. But as she finished, the door slid open. The captain stood there with 2 guards. "I knew you were trouble," he said. Jia didn't try to run. Instead, she smiled. "Did you know humans have a different way of understanding quantum physics than the hegemony?" The captain laughed. "Impossible. Your species is primitive." "Let me show you," Jia said. She pointed to the scanner. "This machine uses outdated science. I can prove it." Curious despite himself, the captain stepped closer. Back at the station, the head council had called an emergency meeting. All 5 human women were to be brought for judgment. When guards came for Suk, they were surprised to find her room empty. By the time they reported this, Suk was already moving through the station with 20 representatives from the Shadow Council. In the questioning rooms, Hana, Yun, and Dami waited calmly. Their bracelets vibrated with the same message. "Ready?" Each woman touched her bracelet in response. "Ready." At exactly the same moment, each began speaking to her questioners. Not in fear, but with confidence. "You think you understand humans," Hannah told the mech official. "But you don't. Unlike your species, we don't specialize. We adapt." In her room, Yun looked directly at her questioners for the first time. "I've studied your networks for months," she said. "I can see patterns you can't. I've created an AI that understands all hegemony systems better than you do." Dami faced 4 armed guards. "Your security has 20 major weaknesses," she told them calmly. "I found them all in less than 6 months." On the ship, Jia had convinced the captain to let her demonstrate her theory. She showed him equations that no hegemony scientist had ever seen. "This is why your scans of Earth have been inconsistent," she explained. "Your science is missing key principles that humans discovered." The captain's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. "If this is true." "It is," Jia said. "And it's just the beginning of what humans can offer the hegemony. Not as servants, but as equals." At that moment, all screens on the ship and throughout the station turned on at once. Suk's face appeared on everyone. "Attention, Hegemony Council," she said. "I speak for the Shadow Council, representing 23 worlds under your control. We demand a full hearing." Behind her stood aliens of many different species, all looking determined. The head council was furious. "This is rebellion. Arrest them all." But something strange happened. Many hegemony workers didn't move to follow orders. Some even stepped forward to join the Shadow Council representatives. For the first time in thousands of years, the hegemony faced a united challenge from within. And 5 human women were leading it. The most dangerous moment had arrived. For 3 days, the hegemony station was in chaos. The head council ordered all humans confined, but many aliens helped hide them. Suk and her Shadow Council grew stronger each hour as more species joined them. On the 4th day, the head council finally agreed to a meeting. "Bring the human troublemakers to us," they ordered. Hana, Yun, and Dami were escorted to the Grand Council chamber. Guards brought Suk and her Shadow Council members too. Jub joined by video link from the ship near Earth. The 7 hegemony leaders looked down at them from their high seats. The lead counselor, a Orcs with scales that shimmered in the light, spoke first. "You have caused serious problems," he said. "You will be punished." "We prefer to negotiate," Suk replied calmly. The counselor laughed. "Negotiate? You are nothing. Your worlds are under our control." Jia spoke from the screen. "That control is based on lies. You tell each world they are alone. But look around you. We are many." "What do you want?" asked a troll counselor. "Freedom for Earth," Dami said. "And a new agreement for all worlds," Suk added. "No more protectorates, only free allies." The counselors looked at each other. Then the Vorax leader laughed again. "Impossible. The hegemony has ruled for 10,000 years. You cannot change that." "We already have," Yun said softly. She held up her small computer. With a single command, I can share all hegemony secrets with every world under your control. The counselors stopped laughing. Let us show you what humans can offer instead, Hannah suggested. One by one, the women demonstrated their discoveries. Gia explained her quantum theories. She showed how they could make hegemony ships twice as fast with half the fuel. Hannah revealed a new communication system she had designed that could translate between all species without error. Yun demonstrated her AI system that could solve problems that had confused hegemony scientists for centuries. Damie showed how she had found and fixed 20 security flaws in hegemony systems, making them safer than before. Finally, Suk spoke. Humans are different from your species. We don't specialize in just one area. We connect ideas from everywhere. Together with all these other worlds, we can build something better than your empire. The council whispered among themselves. Then the Vorax leader leaned forward. Why should we trust you? Why not just execute you all and crush this rebellion? Suk smiled. Look at your screens. Every screen in the chamber lit up, showing faces of beings from hundreds of worlds, all watching. Your secret decisions are secret no more, Suk said. Every world sees us now. They hear our words. If you kill us, they will know, and they will fight. The council room was silent. For the first time in their long rule, the hegemony leaders faced a problem they couldn't solve with force. What do you propose? The troll counselor finally asked. A new agreement, Jia said from the screen. Earth remains free. All worlds get to choose if they stay in the hegemony. Those who stay get fair treatment and real benefits. And if we refuse? Asked the Vorax leader. Yun's fingers moved over her computer. Then every world learns how to break free from your control. Like we did. The council asked for time to consider. The women were taken to a waiting room while the hegemony leaders debated. Will they agree? Damie asked. They have no choice, Suk replied. They rule through fear and secrets. We took both away. Hours passed. Finally, they were called back. The Vorax leader looked tired. We will consider a new agreement, he said. A human accord, for Earth and other worlds. It wasn't a complete victory yet, but it was the beginning of the end of the old hegemony. And it had all started with 5 human women who refused to accept their place. You need to be more careful, Hannah told Jia during their next secret meeting. Dr. Lax is watching you now. Jia nodded. I know, but I found something even more important. She showed them a small device she had built. This can change how their scanners read Earth's minerals. I switched it with a part in the main scanner yesterday. Will they notice? Damie asked. Not for weeks, Jia said. By then, all their data on Earth's resources will be wrong. Their plan was growing. Each woman had taken bigger steps in the past month. Yun had created a special program that hid inside the hegemony's computers. It changed small bits of information every day. Earth's atmosphere now appeared toxic to troll biology in their records. The water seemed harmful to Vorax skin. They still plan to mine Earth, Yun said. But now they think they need special equipment. That will delay them by at least a year. Hannah had been working with official messages between hegemony leaders. I changed words in key reports, she said. Now 3 council members think Earth has religious importance to other members. They won't want to argue about a sacred planet. Damie had found ways to create small security problems around the station. Nothing big enough to cause alarm, but enough to keep security forces busy and distracted. What about your contacts? Jia asked Suk. Suk's eyes shined with excitement. I've met representatives from 20 different worlds. They all hate being under hegemony control. 10 of them want to meet together soon. That's dangerous, Jia warned. Everything we do is dangerous, Suk replied. But we need allies. As they talked, Yun's computer made a soft sound. Her face went pale. Security alert, she whispered. They're checking all human quarters right now. The women quickly gathered their things. Damie led them through a hidden path back toward their rooms. They separated at a junction, each going a different way. Gia reached her quarters just as two guards arrived. "Stand aside," one said. "Room inspection." Gia stepped back, trying to look calm. The guards searched everything. They scanned for hidden technology. Found nothing. Later, she learned they had searched all human quarters. The hegemony knew something was wrong, but they didn't know what. The next day, Dr. Lax gave Gia a new assignment. "The Council wants updated scans of Earth," he said. "You will help prepare the equipment." This was bad news. If they ran new scans, they might find Gia's device. She touched her bracelet 3 times. Warning. That night, there was no meeting. Too risky. But Ian sent a message through their bracelets. Plan B tomorrow. Plan B was something they had prepared for an emergency. Each would act separately, creating problems across the station at the same time. The next morning, Gia went to work as usual. At exactly midday, she accidentally spilled liquid on a main control panel. Alarms sounded. Across the station, similar accidents happened. Triggered a data system crash. Damie caused a security door malfunction. Hana mixed up critical translation files. Suk started a loud argument between 2 rival alien groups. Chaos spread through the normally orderly station. Hegemony officials rushed to fix each problem. No one noticed that each issue had a human connection. That evening, as repairs continued, Suk held her first secret meeting with representatives from other worlds. They met in a storage room Damie had found with no cameras. "We all suffer under hegemony rule," Suk told them. "Together, we might change that." Meanwhile, Gia made an important discovery. The hegemony's next scanning ship for Earth was leaving in 3 days. She needed to get on that ship. Somehow, the real test of their plan was about to begin. The alien ship was like a floating city. For 7 days, Gia and the other humans were given small rooms near each other. They ate strange food that tasted like nothing from Earth. They watched videos about the hegemony's glory and power. On the 8th day, they reached Hegemony Central Station. It wasn't a planet, but a massive ring in space. Millions of beings from hundreds of worlds lived there. As the humans stepped off their ship, they stared in wonder at the countless alien forms moving around them. "Stay together," said their guide. "You will meet the High Council today." The High Council chamber was a huge room with 7 tall chairs. In each sat a different type of alien. They looked down at the humans like adults looking at small children. "Welcome, Earth representatives," said the tallest alien. It had 4 eyes and skin that shifted colors as it spoke. "You have been chosen for a great honor." Gia noticed armed guards by every door. Why did they need guards at a welcome meeting? After the ceremony, an official took Gia aside. "You will not be staying with your fellow humans," it said. "Each of you will be assigned to different mentors." "But we were told we would study together," Gia said. The alien's face hardened. "You will do as instructed." That night, in her new room far from her friends, Gia couldn't sleep. Something felt wrong. She slipped out and tried to find Hannah's room, but guards blocked her way. "Return to your quarters," one said firmly. 3 days passed. Gia was not allowed to see her friends. Her mentor, a scientist from a species called the Vorax, barely spoke to her. Instead, Gia was given tests. They measured her strength, her thinking, her reactions to stress. On the 4th night, Gia found a small package outside her door. Inside was a simple bracelet and a note in Hannah's handwriting. "Wear this. Wait for the signal." At midnight, the bracelet vibrated. A small light on it blinked 3 times. Gia understood. Hannah had found a way to communicate. She pressed the bracelet 3 times in response. Suddenly, a hidden door in her room slid open. Yun's face appeared in the darkness. "Quickly," Yun whispered. "We don't have much time." Yun led Gia through hidden passages between the walls of the station. "I found these maintenance tunnels," she explained. The station's computer systems have gaps in their security. They reached a small room deep in the station. Hannah, Damie, and Sook were already there. "We need to talk," Hannah said, her face serious. "I've been translating their private communications. We're not students. We're hostages." "What?" Ja couldn't believe it. "Earth isn't a partner," Damie said. "We're a conquered world. They just haven't told our people yet." Sook nodded. "I've been making friends with other aliens. The hegemony does this to all new worlds. They take young ones as students to ensure their home planets don't fight back." Un showed them a small computer. "Look what I found in their files. Plans for Earth." The screen showed maps of Earth with colored areas marking resources. Most of Earth was marked for extraction. "They're going to mine our planet," Ja whispered. "Take everything valuable. And they'll use our people for labor," Hannah added, "like they do on other worlds." Gia felt sick. "How do we stop them? We're just 5 people." Damie's eyes were hard. "We learn their weaknesses. Every system has flaws. We need to work separately but share what we learn," Sook said. "Ian has made these bracelets so we can communicate safely. Each of us has been placed in a different department," Hannah explained. "That's their mistake. Together, we can learn everything about how they operate." As they returned to their rooms before dawn, Gia felt afraid but also determined. The fate of Earth now rested on 5 young women who had to outsmart the most powerful empire in the galaxy. The real education had begun. "I need to get on that ship to Earth," Gia told her friends at their next secret meeting. "If they scan Earth again with clean equipment, all our work will be for nothing." "It's too dangerous," Hannah said. "No humans are allowed on scanning missions." "I found something," Yun said quietly. She rarely spoke first in their meetings. "The ship needs a science officer who understands quantum readings. Dr. Lax is supposed to go." "So?" Damie asked. "So we make sure he can't go," Yun replied. Her eyes stayed on her small computer. "And we make sure Gia is the only qualified replacement." The next morning, Dr. Lax found that his quarters had been locked by a system error. When he tried to fix it, more errors appeared in his work schedule. His food card stopped working. His communication device sent messages to the wrong people. By the end of the day, Dr. Lax was stuck in meetings trying to fix his personal problems. He couldn't prepare for the Earth mission. The head of the science division called Gia to his office. "The quantum observer needs a science officer who understands Earth readings," he said. "Dr. Lax is unavailable. You will go in his place." Gia tried not to look too happy. "Yes, sir." That night, she couldn't meet the others. She was already on the ship, preparing for the 3-day journey to Earth. But she sent a message through her bracelet. "On board. Plan working." Back at the station, things were getting more difficult. The hegemony security forces had noticed patterns in the recent accidents. They were watching all humans more closely. Ian was working in the data center when her supervisor appeared behind her. "What are you doing?" he asked sharply. Ian's heart raced, but she kept her face calm. "Updating Earth atmosphere records as ordered." He watched her for a long time, then walked away. Bun sent a warning to the others. "They see USP Keat." The next day, Damie was called to the security chief's office. A tall troll with red skin looked at her with all 4 of his eyes. "Human," he said, "our systems show unusual access patterns. Do you know anything about this?" "No, sir," Damie said. "I only operate the basic security doors as I was taught." She left the office knowing they would be watching her every move now. Hannah faced questions too. Her translation work was being checked by 3 different supervisors. They had found some of her mistakes. Only Sook seemed safe from suspicion. Her friendly personality had made her many alien friends. The hegemony officials saw her as harmless. That evening, Sook held the second meeting of what the members were now calling the Shadow Council. Representatives from 12 subjugated worlds gathered in the hidden room. "We are not alone in our desire for freedom," Sook told them. But we must be careful. The hegemony suspects something is happening. Meanwhile, on the ship to Earth, Jia was working on the scanning equipment. She had only 2 days to make sure it would show the same false readings as her doctored data at the station. But she had a problem. The ship's captain watched her constantly. "You seem very interested in the equipment settings," he said. "I want to make sure everything is perfect," Jia replied. On the 3rd day of the journey, just as Earth came into view as a blue dot, Jia's bracelet vibrated urgently. A message from Yun, E-M-E or GN-SY. They know. At that moment, the ship's alarms went off. The captain received a message from Hegemony Central. "All humans are confined to quarters immediately," he ordered. "That includes you, science officer." 2 guards took Jia to her small room and locked the door. Through the small window, she could see Earth growing larger as they approached. Everything they had worked for was now at risk. 3 years passed since the aliens came. Earth had changed. Tall silver buildings from Hegemony Designs now stood in major cities. People used new devices that the aliens gave them, but no one from Earth had ever been allowed to visit alien worlds. Jia was 21 now. She had finished university early and worked at the Global Space Agency. Every day, she studied the alien technology that the Hegemony shared. And every day, she felt more sure that they were hiding their best secrets. "Look at this," Jia said to her friend Hana. They sat in Jia's small office, looking at alien documents. Hana was tall with long hair she kept in a neat braid. She could speak 7 Earth languages and had learned the main Hegemony language faster than anyone else. "They talk about educational exchanges in their history," Jia continued, "but they never offered us any." Hana nodded. "Maybe they think we're too primitive." Just then, Jia's computer made a sound. A new message had arrived from Hegemony Central Command. Her eyes grew wide as she read it. "Hana, they're starting an exchange program. They want human students to go to their academy." The next morning, the news was everywhere. The Galactic Hegemony had announced an educational exchange program. 100 young humans would be chosen to study at the Hegemony Central Academy. They would learn advanced science, diplomacy, and galactic culture. "This is our chance," Jia told Hana as they filled out applications. "We can learn what they're really doing with Earth." 2 months later, Jia received the message. She had been accepted. So had Hana. They would leave Earth in 1 month. Jia's parents were not happy. "Why do you have to go?" her mother asked. "It could be dangerous." "Someone needs to understand them," Jia answered, "to make sure they keep their promises to Earth." The day before leaving, Jia and Hana met the other students from their region. There were 3 other young women in their group. Dami was short with strong arms and a serious face. She had been in military training before being selected. "I don't trust them," she said simply, "but I want to see their weapons." Yun barely spoke above a whisper. She kept her eyes down, but when she looked at a computer, her fingers moved faster than anyone Jia had ever seen. "Their networks have patterns," she said quietly. "I can feel them." Suk was different from the others. She smiled easily and made everyone laugh. But Jia noticed how carefully she watched everything. "My professor said I was too questioning for politics," Suk told them. "Maybe that's why I was picked." On departure day, thousands of people gathered to watch. The 5 women and other selected students from around the world walked up a long ramp into a Hegemony ship. It was bigger inside than it looked from outside. An alien guide met them. It had green-brown skin and 6 limbs that moved like flowing water. "Welcome, humans," it said in their minds. "You are now representatives of your species. You will be the first humans to see the center of galactic civilization." As the ship's doors closed, Jia felt a moment of fear. Was she making a mistake? But when she looked at Hana, Dami, Yun, and Suk, she felt stronger. The ship lifted off. Through a window, Jia watched Earth grow smaller. The blue planet that was the only home humans had ever known became just a dot in the blackness. "Remember why we're here," Hannah whispered to the group. "To learn their secrets. And protect our home," Damie added. None of them knew that the hegemony had secrets darker than they imagined. None of them knew that exchange students was not how the aliens really saw them. The ship jumped to faster than light speed. Earth disappeared from view. The real journey had begun. 6 months passed. Ja worked in the science labs every day. Her Vorax mentor, Dr. Lax, made her study hegemony physics. He thought she understood little, but Ja was learning more than he knew. One night, the 5 women met in their secret room. They had managed to meet once every 2 weeks without being caught. "I found something important," Gia said. She drew a simple picture on the wall. "The hegemony's fastest ships use this quantum principle, but they don't understand it fully. They're making a big mistake in their equations." "Can we use that?" Damie asked. "Maybe," Gia said, "but I need more time." Hannah spoke next. "I've learned about each hegemony species. Each has different weaknesses." She pointed to her notes. "The Vorax hate cold. The Troll can't see red light. The Mech get confused by certain sounds." Ian barely looked up from her small computer. "I can now access level 4 data systems. I found something." She showed them a file. "They're planning to start taking resources from Earth next year. They call it limited extraction. But look how much land they'll destroy." The screen showed huge areas of Earth marked for mining. Millions of people would lose their homes. "We need to stop them," Jia said. "But how?" Suk smiled. It was the kind of smile that made others nervous. "I've been making friends," she said. "Not just any friends. Representatives from other conquered worlds. They hate the hegemony as much as we do." "Is that safe?" Ja asked. "No," Suk admitted. "But neither is doing nothing." Damie had been studying security systems. "I know how their weapons work now," she said, "and I found gaps in their security networks. Small ones, but they exist." "We need a plan," Jia said. "Something big enough to change Earth's status." "What if we're thinking too small?" Hannah asked. "The hegemony has been in power for thousands of years. Maybe we should focus on more than just saving Earth." They looked at each other. The idea was both exciting and scary. "We each have special access," Yun said quietly. "My programming, Joe's science, Hannah's language skills, Damie's security knowledge, Suk's ability to make allies. Together, we could do something no single species has tried before." Suk added. For hours they talked. They made plans, rejected ideas, found new approaches. By morning, they had the beginnings of a strategy. "It's risky," Damie warned. "Everything worth doing is risky," Jia replied. They returned to their rooms as the station lights brightened to simulate morning. Each carried part of the plan with them. Over the next weeks, they began to act. Small steps at first. Jia accidentally mixed up numbers in resource surveys about Earth. She made valuable areas look worthless and dangerous areas look safe. Hannah created tiny misunderstandings between different alien species. She translated important messages with subtle errors that caused confusion. Even planted false information in the hegemony databases. She made it appear that human biology might be dangerous to some alien species. Damie mapped all security cameras and guard patterns. She found paths through the station that were not watched. Suk continued to build her network of allies from other worlds. She was careful, meeting only those she trusted completely. None of these actions seemed important alone, but together they created small ripples in the perfect order of the hegemony. One evening, Dr. Lack stopped Jia as she left the lab. "You made an error in yesterday's work," he said. Jia's heart beat faster. Had she been caught? "I'm sorry," she said. "I'll fix it tomorrow." As she walked away, she touched her bracelet to warn the others. The game had become more dangerous, but they were committed now. There was no going back.